Alright then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy, back again with another Arsenal transfer update from The Athletic. This time, quoted by the Metro. I could care less where it's coming from. It's not the best of news on my side, but it's a very, very good piece of story for everyone who wants Granit Xhaka to stay. Now, The Athletic, I don't doubt their credibility, don't dare doubt them. They are saying Granit Xhaka is set to sign a new deal after Roma failing to secure a move for the Swiss international. We're gonna dive into that. We're gonna speak volumes about that. What that means for our central midfield role, what it means for the upgrade we've been asking for, and maybe if Xhaka gets a new contract, where does this leave our transfer budget for the likes of Locatelli, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, the likes of Ruben Neves and a couple of others? Do smash a like on the video. Do me a favor, a huge favor. Do smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well and turn on the notification bell. Let's get the party started. So a couple of hours ago, The Athletic have actually put out a story, and it's not been really replicated so much apart from the Metro. It's the Metro that have actually replicated the story. It's not been replicated so much. And The Athletic basically are saying Roma have failed to secure a deal for Granit Xhaka, Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka, and that will mean Xhaka will sign a new deal. Arsenal have actually offered the player a new deal to stay at the Emirates Stadium. Before we go any further, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that? Fabrizio Romano, in the past hours, of course, telling us that the Ruben Neves deal depends on so many things, and if it were to happen, it would happen late in August. Now, Xhaka is set to get a new contract. It's funny, isn't it? So let's look at what the Metro have actually written. They're saying Arsenal preparing to offer Granit Xhaka a new deal as Roma failed to meet Arsenal's valuation. Right. Despite rumors that he was close to the Arsenal exit door, now it seems more likely that Granit Xhaka could be given a second chance at the Emirates Stadium. Xhaka, who's 28 years of age now, was reportedly a major target for Jose Mourinho's Roma, with rumors suggesting a deal was done even before the Euros 2020. But now it seems more likely that Xhaka will stay at Arsenal after no bids matching the Ghana's valuation were received from Roma or any other club for that matter. In fact, the Gunners are now preparing a new contract for the divisive Swiss midfielder, according to The Athletic. Xhaka was one of the Switzerland stars at the Euro 2020, producing several match-changing performances that saw the Swiss reach the quarterfinals before finally getting beaten by Spain on penalties. There we go, bro. There you have it. Granit Xhaka set to sign a new long-term contract at Arsenal. How many years? 2 years? 3 years? I'm not really sure about that. But that is from The Athletic. That is the update from The Athletic. Arsenal do want to give Granit Xhaka a new long-term contract. Before I give you my thoughts on this, I would love to get your thoughts absolutely straight. What do you think about Xhaka getting a new contract at Arsenal? I would love to get that from you. What do you think about Xhaka getting in a new contract from from Arsenal? Is it a good move to save some money and probably buy James Maddison? Would it be a good move if we save the money we would spend on the central midfielder and gather up the funds and maybe go for James Maddison? Would it make some more sense? Do you think Arsenal has just failed to offload Granit Xhaka? And if he stays, do we go for a central midfielder or do we actually stay with Granit Xhaka? That is my only question, and that is the only thing I would love to hear from you. So let's get into it. Xhaka has been at Arsenal Football Club for almost forever, since Arsene Wenger, since N'Golo Conte signed for Chelsea, and how many trophies has N'Golo Conte actually won for Chelsea, but I don't want to go into that. So we've signed in Granit Xhaka 5 years now, and for me personally, he's failed to grow as a player. He's committed so many things, and I think he's so lucky. He's very lucky to be still, part of this Arsenal side. One, that incident against during the Unai Emery era. You're captain, you're walking off the pitch, and You're getting you're getting the jersey, you're throwing it down, you're stepping on it. It's utter contempt. It's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And how Arsenal fans forget so easily. When XHAKA makes 1 or 2 passes, we are like, XHAKA is the man. But for me, I think XHAKA has never been good enough. I've never seen a season where XHAKA has been that reliable. I'm gonna say that, and I will never go back on my words. I've never seen a season where I feel like, this season's Chelsea had N'Golo Kante. This season Henderson was there for Liverpool. This season Fernandinho was there for Manchester City. I've never seen a season like that from Granit Xhaka. Apart from that, we've seen more incidents of Granit Xhaka strangling players, fighting on the pitch, costing us points as a senior player. You don't expect that from him. Getting a new contract at Arsenal is utterly crazy, but it is understandable. Where are you gonna sell him? If it's not Roma, where are you gonna sell him? Our valuation is 20 million euros. Roma are not willing to meet that. They're saying we either give you around 13 million pounds or 13 million euros, or we actually pull out of the deal. And Arsenal is not actually willing to go for less than 20 million euros, so the player stays. So what does that mean for our transfer plans? Because we should have had transfer plans right from the start. What does it mean for for our transfer plans? Xhaka is 28, senior player. If he stays at the club and signs a new contract, he's a starter, an automatic starter. What that means, you forget all about Houssem Aouar, you forget all about Manuel Locatelli, you forget all about the likes of Ruben Neves, and focus on the midfield where you have Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. Is it good enough? I can't answer the question at the moment, because probably it's gonna be our midfield next season. I just can't demolish it at the moment. I've got to wait and see what's gonna happen. But I think with Xhaka, despite the fact that he has a lot of support from the Arsenal fan base, I don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's giving us what we want. Premier League, he's a good player, but Premier League is not a league for him. That is it. He's reliable, he's durable, he plays so many games in a season. He can play for you 38 games in a season. But I think his output as a player is too little, too less. That's what that is what I can say. Going forward, adding to the press, he's so slow, and he's a good passer of the ball, but he's so slow, very slow. And defensive wise, despite the fact that you have him cover for the left back at times, but he's not that solid. He's not that kind of a player that you think has very good defensive statistics on his game. And Arsenal deciding to keep him, yes, you might understand the situation in which clubs are not really willing to pay 20 million euros because they're not in that position. We know clubs in Italy, they're not in that position, and we do understand. Do you give him a new contract? Do you let his contract run down and expire? It's a question I would love to hear from you people. It's a big question I'd love to hear your thoughts on. Should we let Xhaka's contract run down and let him go on a free? Do we give him a new contract? When we give him a new contract, do we sign in? Because we have Albert Sam Lokonga and Thomas Partey. I would rather play Lokonga and Partey for the greater part of the season than Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Because what Granit Xhaka does is he wants to play as a central midfielder. Partey wants to play as a central midfielder as well, and he's blocking Thomas Partey. He can't play as a 6. He is not that reliable. He doesn't give us what a player like Lokonga would give you if you played as a 6, despite the fact that Lokonga is a younger player. So Xhaka signs a new contract, fine. If he signs it, let him be a squad player. Absolutely. He signs it, I'm keeping him as a squad player. I don't want to see him as a regular starter. We've got to groom someone else. And the reason as to why we wanted Xhaka out, not because he's the worst player in the world, it's because we needed an upgrade. We need an upgrade in that area. If United are having Donny van der Beek sitting on the bench waiting for Paul Pogba, if Lodri can play in that area, for City, you need an upgrade. Definitely, you need an upgrade, because I don't think Xhaka has been as good enough as Gigi Wijnaldum at Liverpool. And Gigi has not been the best player ever, to play in the position. All this crap and all these rumors are saying that, Xhaka had a very good season, a very good campaign in the Euros 2020, and if he was an Arsenal player, we'd be crying for him. Maybe we would be, but we are not. We are not. I think For me, XHAKA, the specifics of Granit XHAKA do need to be clarified. He is a slow player, very good on passing that ball, but a very slow pace. He needs to play in the German Bundesliga. He needs to play in the Italian Serie A. That is where his football fits. Premier League, you need to be fast. Look at Emil Smith-Rowe. If you look at Smith-Rowe and the pace at which he receives and passes that ball, so different from Granit XHAKA, and that's why I think Smith-Rowe will be a success in the Premier League. But that is what we have. That's the update we have at the moment. XHAKA could be set to stay Arsenal, sign a new contract, and Arsenal having XHAKA and Thomas Partey, same old midfield, same old Arsenal. I don't really blame Mikel Arteta and Edu 100%. I think it was always gonna be hard to move on the deadwood, especially at at a club like Arsenal. Our players are too bad, very, very bad. If it's not Roma, where does XHAKA go? Does he go back to Gladbach? I don't think they will take him. Where does he go? He either stays at Arsenal, his contract runs down, and that's it. So next season, don't be shocked if we don't get in a central midfielder this summer, and we have XHAKA and Thomas Partey playing in that central midfield area. Do smash a like on the video, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Catch me live in around 10 minutes. I'm going to be live on Glenn's channel, and we'll be discussing everything Arsenal transfers as well.